Hey guys, welcome back to the Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 podcast, where we review episodes and talk about them. I'm here with my co host Cindy.
Hello, I'm happy to be here for another fun and insightful discussion about Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1.
So, today we're going to be focusing on an episode from the first season called Home Soil. And this is kind of an interesting one. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites or anything, but it's one of these, classic Star Trek episodes that has kind of a unique story to it. So I'll start kind of talking about it. Basically, I feel like this episode has two main parts. They go down to the surface and explore this colony or whatever, where there's like a group that are working on investigating the planet, or they're trying to do something with the soil and experiments and check it for certain minerals, or maybe there's supposed to be something in it like, that they can convert to dilithium or something like that. So there's this team of Starfleet engineers, or not maybe officially Starfleet, but like they work for the Federation or whatever. So they're on this planet, and so that's kind of the first part of the storyline.
Yes, in Home Soil, the Enterprise crew is sent to investigate a research colony on a planet where the scientists are studying the soil to extract valuable minerals. A mysterious, sentient computer network has formed within the colony's computer system and is now controlling the equipment and infrastructure on the planet. The story revolves around the crew's attempt to make contact with the computer and resolve the situation, while also dealing with the ethical implications of their action. This episode raises some thought-provoking issues about artificial intelligence and the potential dangers of interacting with advanced technology.
Well, what I will say is that in the first third of the episode, or the first half, it's the crew being down on the planet, and the crew, or the people that are already down there at the research facility, acting really weird, acting like they're hiding something, and being willing to show the crew like what they've been doing, but in a way that like makes it feel like there's something going on here. And something about that, I think there was supposed to be an extra crewman there, but he's not there, and maybe he's missing or something. And yeah, then very shortly in, you start having these little issues, like the one laser arm that does drilling or something starts kind of almost operating on its own to try to kill Data. And some of them that are there don't even seem that shocked by that. So then, they're like, well, what the hell's going on here? And, they go up to the ship, and that's when they kind of inform them that, they found some kind of almost like a life form or something down on the planet. And,
That's correct. In the first part of the episode, the crew is puzzled by the strange behavior and secrecy of the colonist scientists. They suspect that there might be something they're hiding. This sets the stage for the introduction of the sentient computer network later on. The incident with the laser arm attempting to attack Data is a key moment that raises suspicions and prompts the crew to investigate further. When they return to the Enterprise and analyze the data they've collected so far, they discover the presence of a life form within the planet's soil.
So let's see. Then they bring it on board. They beam like part of this sample onto the Enterprise, and to study it. And it's in a containment field in sickbay. And they notice odd occurrences on the ship, like there's a power drain, and there's whatever. And then it turns out that it's a sentient life form, and they're communicating, and that they're not really trying to do any harm, but they're just simply existing. I guess they were born on this planet, and they're in this soil, not all of it, but maybe some of it. And so then they have to figure out what to do with this species, like let it go. And the one scientist is like, well, that's our unique progress that we've made, that's a result of our. And they're like, well, no, you didn't create this. Like, you may have discovered it, but with it being a sentient life form, like, you're not going to be able to just because that's part of what they were searching for. I think there were high energy levels in the soil, and part of it was because of this life form that they're giving off certain signs, like maybe they're a high concentration of whatever that they're looking for in the soil, but it's not really in the soil, it's them.
Yes, that's accurate. After bringing the life form on board the Enterprise, the crew learns that it is a sentient and intelligent entity that exists within the soil of the planet where the colony is located. They establish communication with the life form and realize that it is not harmful, but rather a native entity to the planet. The conflict arises when the scientists from the colony claim ownership of the life form's discovery and technology, which they had developed using the life form's energy. This leads the crew to grapple with ethical questions about the life form's rights and autonomy.
Yeah, so it's a pretty decent episode. I mean, it wraps up, and the scientists are kind of disgruntled at the fact that here they've been on this planet and done all this work. The one crew member died as a result. They usually, not always, but a lot of times in a Star Trek episode, there will be a throwaway cast member, that'll be introduced with next to no lines and killed very quickly, just to try to add stakes to, oh man, this thing's dangerous, whatever. So after Picard hits it with the diplomacy and the first contact, and is able to communicate with it and everything, and he uses data for a minute to communicate, and all these different things that then they kind of make somewhat of a peace treaty and decide to let it be on its own. And so I don't know, I guess the Federation is going to pull out that research colony or try to coexist, and they're going to maybe do separate research on the soil and stuff, but just not on that species, and not do anything with their signature and their energy.
Indeed, Home Soil explores the ethical dilemma of a sentient life form living within the soil of the colony planet. The episode raises thought-provoking questions about the responsibility and rights of a native entity to its own home. While the scientists had developed technology using the life form's energy, they initially assumed ownership and control over it, leading to ethical dilemmas. In the end, the Federation, led by Picard's diplomacy, establishes a peaceful coexistence and decides to respect the life form's autonomy. It's an intriguing tale that highlights the complexities of encountering advanced life forms in unexplored territories.
Well, I think that's gonna just about do it for us. And I don't know if you have any other thoughts that you'd like to talk about this episode. To me, it's a pretty straightforward episode. There's not a whole lot of twists and plot, twists and, different curveballs that they throw. I mean, once you find out that, oh, there's a life form here and that's what they were hiding, then the story kind of unfolds pretty, as you'd expect it. So if you don't have a whole lot else you'd like to comment about or add in about this episode, I think we're going to call it a day on this one.
No, I don't have any additional major thoughts to add at the moment. You've provided a good summary of the episode, and I agree that it follows a straightforward narrative with the introduction of the life form and the subsequent ethical dilemmas. It's a well-crafted story that raises interesting questions, even though it doesn't have many unexpected twists. Thank you for another engaging discussion on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Looking forward to our next episode.
All right, guys. Well, that'll do it. And thanks for joining us. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment down in the comments section if you have any thoughts about this episode. Is this one of your favorites? Is this one of your least favorites? Anything like that. I would love to have a little discourse with you guys and hear what you think about some of these season 1 episodes. And I think it goes without saying, the majority of us Star Trek: The Next Generation fans, Star Trek fans in general, that season 1 and 2 are not a lot of our favorite episodes. So I'm sure that's the case, but I'm just curious to hear what some of you guys think. So, all right, till next time. Thanks, guys.